In Washington, Republican leaders are trying to salvage their health insurance plan after the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office projected it would leave more Americans uninsured than before Obamacare was enacted. Here's congressional correspondent Nancy Cordes.
The CBO report raises some serious concerns.
GOP opposition to the GOP plan mounted today after congressional number crunchers projected that the party's Obamacare replacement bill would add 24 million people to the ranks of the uninsured.
Obviously, in a state like mine that had Medicaid expansion, we have deep concerns.
Republican leaders were reluctant to call it a setback.
We're going to do our thing and pass it.
But the White House said it is working with the House Speaker on some changes.
We are obviously in talks with House leadership.
One flashpoint, the CBO's finding that premium costs for some low-income older Americans would spike 750%. Not an easy sell back home for lawmakers like Lynn Jenkins.
CBO scores are rarely, if ever, right. They were.
Democrats like Pennsylvania's Bob Casey were unsympathetic.
This is what happens when you don't work on a problem for many years, and you try to slap something together in a matter of weeks.
GOP leaders like Missouri's Roy Blunt downplayed the drop in coverage.
The Congressional Budget Office is notoriously bad at anticipating what's going to happen in a marketplace.
And they note the CBO did find some upsides.
Lower taxes, lower deficits.
It sounds like you're saying that the parts of the CBO analysis you like are accurate and the parts you don't like are flawed.
That's not what I was saying. I pointed out the part that I think is an accurate reflection of the tax reduction. It's pretty hard to predict coverage when the government stops telling you you have to buy something you don't want.
One of the bill's authors says that he and other GOP leaders are considering some changes to the bill's tax credit system. But other Republicans aren't waiting around to find out what they come up with, Anthony. In fact, just this evening, a Florida congresswoman became the latest lawmaker to say she's voting no.
Nancy Cordes, thanks, Nancy.